Well, welcome to the tutorial on using Panopto in conjunction with Blackboard. Panopto is our course lecture capture system that we've recently adopted at Emporia State, and we're using it very successfully in a number of departments. And after seeing this tutorial, it may be something that you're interested in integrating with Blackboard as well. Before I actually get started, let me actually show you an example of what Panopto actually looks like. I switched over to a screenshot, a still screenshot of what Panopto actually looks like. There's a video window up in the upper left-hand corner that you can see, which would be obviously focused on the presenter. On the right-hand side is a PowerPoint presentation that she's running. In the lower part of that screen are thumbnails of those PowerPoint slides in her slide deck. And then the lower left-hand side is a timestamp. So every time she switches to a different PowerPoint presentation, it automatically timestamps that transition. I've got her audio turned down, but let me just go ahead and click play so you can sort of see a little bit what it looks like. This is a ceiling-mounted camera, obviously, and she's presenting in one of our rooms over in Visser Hall. Students can watch this presentation, and they can navigate forward on the slide deck and switch to any particular slide that will automatically move us to that particular point in the presentation. That must have been where she was off camera. We'll move to this slide. They can also similarly use the time stamping over on the left-hand side to transition or to move to different areas as well. Faculty can go, or viewers can go click and go double screen if they want to, double size or full size of the video window, or they can go back to seeing the simultaneous video and the PowerPoint. Panopto also has the ability to capture two video sources at once, so you could potentially have a camera focused on the presenter and another on the audience. That's certainly possible. Other options include the ability to stream the presentation live. So there's an option to actually generate a URL that can be distributed to an audience before the presentation even begins, and then they can just pull that URL up and watch the presentation live from any location in the world. So this is a little bit about what Panopto looks like. We have a number of installations of it across campus. And now I'm going to show you how you can integrate that with Blackboard. And so I'm back in my Blackboard course, and I'm going to go over to the sidebar, and I'm going to click on the toolbox. And you can see I have my various tools, Adobe Connect Pro, Calendar, so forth and so on. Let's go ahead and click on the Panopto CourseCast content. CourseCast was actually the name of the specific product. Panopto is the company. They've since changed that to Focus. It's called Panopto Focus now, but the link still says CourseCast, but that's what that is. So we'll go ahead and click on that. Now the first thing that you have to do is you have to provision the course. And provisioning basically means that you are making the connection or the bridge between Blackboard and the Panopto server. It just lets both systems know that they exist and creates a bridge between them. So basically what we're going to be doing is that when you have a lecture over here in the Panopto system that you've created, and you could have created this lecture in your class, a live presentation in your class, or you could have done it in your office or at home even, and you want the students to be able to see that in a particular class. The provisioning just basically makes a link so that when you automatically upload this presentation, it knows to go to the correct Blackboard course. So now we're back over in Blackboard here, and what you would see when you first come in before you provision the course, I'm going to highlight all of this excuse me, information down here would be gone. You would not see this until you provision the course. And so I've already done that. That's the reason you see those links and options and so forth. What you would only see here, the only option you would see is the configure button when you first come in. So you would click on the configure button and it will bring you to a screen with 3 steps. The first step is already filled out for you. It says vulcan.emporia.edu. That's the server name. You can't change it. We don't want you to. That's the link to the server. The second option is to select the course. Now, you can see that I've already got it selected because I've already provisioned this, so I'm already kind of a step past. But what you would see normally is something which looks akin to this, and you would simply select the course from the list. If it does not appear, which mine did not appear in the list automatically, there will be an option that appears below for you to browse to the course and then select it from a list, which is what I did, and then it appears and you click on submit. If a student is added to the course after you've already provisioned it, there's an option that you will see when you go back into to sync the user list, and that updates the user list. That is to say, the students who are allowed to see the recording with the Panopto lecture capture. So let's go ahead and go back, and after you provision it, you will then see these options. And I'll explain more of these in just a few minutes, but let me just quickly go through them. Live sessions would be a hyperlink or a URL to a live URL recording if this was being broadcast out live. So for instance, let's say an important guest lecturer is going to be in class and a couple of students are out sick or maybe traveling with an athletic function or something. What you could do potentially is actually stream that live, but I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And then they could actually watch the recording from any number of locations. The completed recordings will be the links that are created automatically once you have finished the recording in the Panopto recorder and uploaded it to the server. The link to the course, or inside the course, to the recording is automatically created. Also note that an audio podcast and a video podcast or a vodcast is also automatically created for you. So students could potentially download the presentation onto a mobile device and watch that offline. The RSS link over here basically gives them the XML feed to be able to synchronize that on a permanent basis so that every time they connect their mobile device to their computer, it will automatically download the latest recording. This just is a link back to those course settings sites which you just saw, and then here's a link to the recorders. And I'm going to talk about the recorders momentarily, but you notice there's a Windows recorder and a Macintosh recorder. So now, how do you get the recording into the system? Well, you use what's called the recorder. And so here I am right now on my recorder, and this is, you're looking at a live presentation. I've got a webcam running here on my laptop, but I could just as easily use the little iCamera on my laptop lid. What you're seeing here, and by the way, the audio that you're hearing, it may be a little bit of an echo because I'm recording in my small office here, but so there's probably some audio bouncing off the walls here, but I'm just using the microphone that's built onto the, the webcam, but I could use a headset or any number of other appliances as well. So it's pretty flexible. You can use a number of different types of devices. It doesn't make any difference. You don't have to use a headset. You don't have to be in front of a computer. There's a number of capture solutions. The lady I showed you earlier in the presentation was the camera, again, was ceiling mounted, so she wasn't even really within reach of that particular camera, and then she was wearing a portable microphone. So this is the Panopto recording interface. The recorder is what you would download, and you would just invoke this when you're ready to do a recording. You can see that there's an option to open up a PowerPoint presentation, so you just select your presentation from this option in the middle of the screen, load your PowerPoint presentation in this window, and when you do that and get ready to start recording, PowerPoint will just take over the full screen like it normally would if it was a normal presentation, so nothing will look amiss to you. Over on the left hand side, you can choose your camera, you can choose your microphone, you can choose your quality of your recording. We typically recommend you stay with the web quality recording. There's the capture PowerPoint option, and then you can also do a screen capture. So if you wanted to demonstrate something like a spreadsheet or some function on the screen, maybe showing how to use Windows, for instance, you would do a screen capture and everything on the screen would be captured, all the mouse movements and so forth and so on. Here's where you would add a second video source if you wanted to do that, and we can certainly accommodate that very easily. And up at the top, you notice that it says offline recording. That's because we haven't selected the, the course where this is going to go and the folder in that course where it's going to go. And then there's a default name of the file as the date and time. To choose the recording folder, we come over to this drop-down arrow, and you can see that there's a number of courses and so forth because I'm in a number of different courses and test courses and folders and so forth and so on. So let me find the course, which is right here. that I was just provisioning. Then I'll click Add New Session. And now you can see that I've added the session folder to the destination of where this recording is going to go. That's the course I'm teaching this semester. I left the default name here. There's the broadcast and record option. If I want to check that box, I can make a live URL feed. I am ready to go. I didn't load a presentation in here because I'm not going to take the time to do that right now, but it's very simple to do. You click record, and it's starting the recording. And I could pause it if I needed to. And let me just do a few seconds here while I kind of move the cursor around the screen so you can kind of get an idea. And let's go ahead and stop. So again, consider that this would be an hour-long recording in a classroom, or you're recording from your office or what have you. It's now we're finished or starting its upload. You don't have to sit and wait for this to upload. You could just go ahead and minimize the recorder and come back to that. Let me go ahead and minimize that now while it's doing its upload process. Notice that there's no changes on this screen yet. That will change here in just a little bit. You're going to see a change. Let's go back and bring up the recorder and kind of see where we're at. And there's the recording right there. And you can see in the orange text that it's starting a packaging process. It goes through a series of 3 steps to be able to make that recording ready. And it takes a little longer to actually package it than it does to upload it, but again, you do not have to wait for it. You can minimize it and go about your business. You can leave, you can go to class, and in the background, this will continue to do its processing and upload, irrespective of whether or not you were actually sitting at the computer with the recording or not. So once it's done, I'm going to see this change. It's publishing its results right now. You're going to see that change in just a little bit. It just uploaded, because it changed to those links that say View, Edit, or Share. Now, if I go back, I'm going to minimize that, and if I go back to here, and I'm going to refresh so you can see it. Let's go back into the toolbox, which is where the Panopto CourseCast link is, and there it is. There's the link. That's the recording I just created. And it automatically put it into the correct Blackboard course show because I provisioned it. If I click play, and let me turn that down, and you can see that we are recording. And my ugly mug is on the screen. But you can see what's kind of cool about this. What's sort of interesting is that there's a notes feature down here in the lower right-hand corner. And so you can actually take notations about what's happening in the presentation. So students can take notes, and every time they take a note, let me go back here and add another note. You could do this while it's playing, of course. I just happen to have it paused because it's only a few seconds long. Every time you take a note, you can jump the playback head to that spot where you have a note. It almost acts like an anchor. You can edit the note to yourself, or you can delete the note. Or you can share the note with the faculty members. So you can unlock the note, making it private or public or private. And then if you make it public, other people who are doing the recordings in the class or the faculty member can see your notes. And you can also see the faculty members' notes if they choose to make theirs public or private as well. So it's kind of a nice feature, this notations thing. Again, you can go double screen to go full screen, or you go back to its normal view. If the PowerPoint were recording, the PowerPoint would be occupying this side of the screen. I didn't record that, as you recall. But it's that simple to go about recording. And what you didn't see is that all the people in the class got an email that there was a recording that had been uploaded. It was a trigger. So they know now to go to the Panopto course, or go to the Blackboard course rather, and pull down and watch the Panopto recording because they received an email tickler. Again, an audio podcast was generated of that small short presentation, and a video podcast was generated as well that are easy to download and put onto a mobile device. So again, the process is as follows. You first provision the course, go into your toolbox, to the Panopto CourseCast recorder option, do the configure, locate the course, and you would choose the course that you're in. You're provisioning this course for recording, so that's the course you would choose, of course. Go ahead and follow the steps to select that course. And then just download the recorder. Once the recorder is downloaded, which is right here, you can go ahead and start recording. And it's very, very simple to do. And here's the other nice thing, is that once you do a recording, Panopto remembers your settings. How cool is that? So you don't have to make that selection for the course for the destination folder again, because it says, oh, I remember you were recording in that particular course, so I'll just go ahead and put that up there for you again. It also remembers your camera setting and your audio setting as well. You don't have to change those unless something changes that you want to make a different selection. Otherwise, it's real simple to do. You just fire up this product and click record, and off you go. I mean, all of about 30 seconds or less to really get going on this. Very, very simple. Once the recording is done, you click stop, and Panopto and Blackboard sort of take care of all the grunt work. The link is automatically added into the course because you provisioned it to be added to the course. Now, we'll offer some more presentations later about how to manage specific features of Panopto, but this should at least get you started on how to use this. It's considered a more advanced application of Blackboard and Lecture Capture, but really, once you do this a couple of times, it's very, very simple to do. I will say that Panopto came to our attention through the University of Colorado Medical School. Most of their faculty at the CU Med are using this Panopto course capture because they have their didactic-based courses, and they want the students to be able to go back and rehearse those presentations as many times as they want to be able to digest that volume of content. So they have Panopto set up throughout the med school, and their faculty manage it themselves. They come in and fire up the recording before the presentation, record it, and then it automatically uploads to Blackboard, and they just love it, and we do too. I think it's a great product. So give it a shot. Let us know if you have questions or problems.